Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at this Cub Cadet Ultima ZT1. Customer brought it in with a drive belt that is off and it's got a crack down it. So we're going to replace the drive belt on it, and we're also going to replace the idler pulley since it's making some noise. I see this quite a bit on this model where they pop off prematurely and with not many hours on them. I'm going to show you how to fix that. That way that doesn't continue to happen down the line on this model. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as we go along if you enjoy the content. First thing I like to do is drop the deck down. You'll hit the brake and then rotate it to the lowest setting, which is 1, or right past 1. It'll allow you to drop that deck all the way down. If your drive is not working on this model, one of two things has happened. Either the belt has broken or come off, or your engagement here is disengaged. I've got it in the disengaged position right now. That's so we can push it in here. But in order to drive it, you can pull this and leave it down in that lever, and that's where it should be during normal operation. There's one on that side and also one on the other side. If you come right underneath and back, you can see very clearly that the drive belt is off. That's not to be confused with the bottom belt, which is the deck belt. I'm actually going to reinstall this real quick just to show you how it should be and the exact process if it's still intact but in bad condition. At the front side, we have a pretty good view from where the deck is, of all the belts, and then also the spring and how it should be installed. Also where it is installed. The first step, if your belt's still on, is going to be to remove this spring from the notch here. I've got a spring puller, which makes it extremely easy. If you don't have one, here's one I made in a pinch. All you do is cut where the round hole is out of really any wrench that you can grip onto decently. This one worked very well when I needed it for that job. But either that or the spring puller, we're just going to pull and let it drop off. And that's about how it was when I found it, just hanging there. Next, we want to get the clip removed from the PTO clutch. This wire is normally in this position, so you've got to pinch the backside and pull that out. Otherwise, you can undo the clip to get the wire out. And basically just pry in between here to undo the clip on the wire to get it removed. But really, that can stay in that position anyway, but if it's in your way, you can get it out. You just pull up on this, pull the whole connector out. So I'm just prying up on that tab a little bit to get it off where it's locked. And that's free. And then we'll take and we'll roll this belt off. It's very easy if you just kind of grab down. Make sure not to pinch your fingers, but it'll roll right off. Don't let it snap back so it gets off some of the pulleys in the front. Just kind of sit it right there. There's a bracket that holds the clutch from spinning here, and it's going to need to come off so we can get this belt off of that shaft. It's just a 1/2 inch head to it. And then this bracket just comes off like such. It does have a little clip there that kind of absorbs some of that movement back and forth. And now that it's out of the way, get just that screw bolt out of the way. The belt can come off after we get the idler pulley bolt loosened here. This idler pulley has a bracket that keeps the belt on this backside. This one was actually off of that. It had worked its way out. And when they come off there, that's normally what ruins the belt. We're going to use a 9/16. And then we're going to use a wrench up top, because there is a bolt that goes all the way through. We're going to completely remove it, but if you are just replacing the belt and you're not replacing the idler pulley, you do not have to completely remove that nut. You can just loosen it so it can wiggle off. Now that nothing is holding it on, we can work our belt off of each pulley. Sometimes spinning the fan blades will make it a little easier, but it'll just come completely off. So if we're looking at the mower from the back, this is how the belt should install. It should go around the engine pulley to the right hydro, straight across the front, around the left hydro, and then around the idler pulley here in the middle. The idler pulley does have this bushing that sits there. You can tell this one's real worn out. It's been worn on that spot for some reason. There's a very specific reason for that I'm going to show you how to fix coming right up. And that's because it's slipping on that pulley. It shouldn't be slipping. It should be tight enough, but the spring does not allow it to pull tight enough with the setup it has. If your old belt is looking anything like this one, it's not the one I just pulled off, but if there's a bunch of cracks and stuff in it, or any bad spots, it should absolutely be replaced. Otherwise, it's just going to snap and you're going to be right back in the same position that you were. I always like to make sure that they line up, the new one and the old one. Make sure it's exactly the same size before you install it. We always use OEM belts on these. You can use an aftermarket though if it is the same size. These ones are not too particular. That bushing out of the old one just goes in the new one. I'll put part numbers for these down below, and that goes up just like such. And then the washer and the nut hold it on below. Before you go to reinstall the belt, check all the pulleys. You can see here very clearly, there is a big piece of stick stuck in this pulley on the back side. If you leave that in there, it's just going to work your belt right back off again. We'll work the belt first around the back pulley, or the right pulley, I mean. Get it on there. Come to the front. And then we'll go to the left side and the idler pulley at the back. You can remove this spring to get it out of your way if you'd like to. I'm going to leave it just hanging here. We're going to install our bushing and our idler pulley just up on top. We got our washer and our nut. Just starting it. Don't want to tighten it down yet. Now we can move our belt around like it's supposed to be. And you got to make sure that that goes inside this keeper. Now we'll tighten it down. So again, the belt is inside the keeper here. The belt is on all of the pulleys. If for some reason your belt came off, you can hook it back through again. I want to make sure that when it goes through there, that this piece is to the up side towards you. This is the way they tell you to install it, but not the way that we actually do. So this is supposed to come back and just go right to this notch right here. I'm sorry, right here. That barely gives it any tension though. We are going to install this spring just to show you what the fix is for this. So if you look at the tension on this spring, there's virtually zero tension installed where it's supposed to be. You can see from the top side here just behind the battery that this spring has very, very little tension to it. There's only just a very small space in between each one of those coils of those springs. Here's what we do to fix it on these models. That way you don't get those nuisance calls where these belts have popped off for no reason other than not having enough tension. Otherwise, they sit there and slip also, which is why that idler pulley got worn down like it did. It also wears the belt out faster. To fix our spring issue, I'm going to take this spring back off, pull it with our spring puller. So it's completely off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to install it just like this now. So I'm going to go hook side down into the pulley. And we're going to take and we're going to latch this piece all the way over here to this corner. Now when you do that, it will kind of bind up here. You can take it, just kind of push it like that. And now that spring has plenty of tension on it. Nice and tight. So again, instead of being in this hole, we've got the longer side and we brought it all the way back to there. Now looking at it from the top, you can see there's all kinds of tension on that spring. The belt's not going to slip anymore and be able to come off of there. Now that everything else is all hooked up, we can put our deck belt back on. Make sure that it's on all the pulleys up front. And then all we've got to do, bring it over to the side and roll it around. Everything should roll freely without issue. If it doesn't, you've likely got the belt off somewhere there. Roll it around so we've got our connection again. Plug it back in. And then we can put this clip back where it's supposed to be in the side. Let's reinstall our bracket. Just going to slip it into here. Turn it until it lines up. Get it started by hand here. Nice and tight. Make sure there. All right, it sure is. Take one more look around at the belt. Everything is good. Well, hopefully this helps somebody out. If you're having the same or a similar issue with your Cub Cadet ZT1 Ultima, this is a design flaw in my opinion, and there's just not quite enough tension there. That's why that belt slips. It wears out real quick. I've seen this and done it probably 15 or 20 times since I've seen this issue the last couple of years, and I've never had one come back that puts plenty of tension there and the belt stops slipping. So whether your belt is broken or worn out or the idler pulley went bad or you got a stick caught in it, whatever it is, hopefully I helped you get your issue figured out and back into working order. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the content. Thank you for watching and have a great day.